What if you've been surrounded by opportunities your entire life, but missed them? Opportunities rarely announce their arrival. They don't knock, they don't call, and they certainly don't wait. Instead, they linger silently, waiting for someone bold enough to notice. Yet most of us walk through life distracted by comfort, fear, or self-doubt. We keep our heads down, our minds racing, unaware of the doors we're passing by daily. And then, time passes. The moments we ignore turn into the regrets we carry. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. Life doesn't give us fewer opportunities. Our hesitation, our unwillingness to act, lets them slip through our fingers. Imagine how your life could change if you stopped hesitating. Imagine recognizing those doors before they close. In this video, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, we'll explore how to see, seize, and even create opportunities, no matter where you are in life. You'll learn how to break free from fear, embrace discomfort, and sharpen your vision for what truly matters. By the end, you'll have the tools to turn hesitation into action, setbacks into lessons, and ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities. If this resonates, share this message with someone who needs it. And don't forget to comment below. What's one opportunity you're ready to stop missing today? Let's start this journey together. The opportunities are here, waiting for you to notice. 1. Opportunities. Don't wait for the hesitant. I remember the first time I was asked to speak in public. Back in school, standing in front of the class felt like stepping into a spotlight that burned every ounce of confidence I had. Even after graduating, the fear stayed with me. Years later, at work, I was invited to deliver a presentation at a major event. I hesitated, convinced I wasn't ready. A colleague stepped in, took the opportunity, and left a powerful impression. That moment taught me an unforgettable lesson. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel ready. They don't pause for self-doubt or fear. They appear and vanish quickly, leaving only regret if you let them slip by. The Stoics believed that life is defined not by what happens to us, but by how we respond. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, hesitation, our fear of not being enough, is often the only thing standing between us and progress. Every day, life offers doors to step through. Some are obvious, others disguised as problems or discomfort. But those doors won't wait. The people who succeed, the ones we admire, aren't necessarily the most prepared or the most skilled. They're the ones who act, even when the path isn't clear. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a cold river. The water looks freezing, but you know it leads to something worthwhile on the other side. Most people stand on the shore waiting for the perfect moment. But the truth is, there's no such moment. Seneca reminds us, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. However, preparation doesn't mean perfection. Sometimes it simply means having the courage to dive in and trust that you'll adapt along the way. Think about this. Every time you hesitate, someone else is seizing that moment. Every second you spend questioning your readiness, another person is acting, learning, and gaining the experience you're holding back from. I learned this the hard way. When I finally started saying yes to opportunities, I realized something surprising. You don't need to feel 100% ready to succeed. You grow into the role, the task, the opportunity. Each small step builds confidence and skills. If you're waiting for certainty, you'll wait forever. Start by asking yourself 3 questions. What's the worst that could happen? Most fears are exaggerated in our minds. What's the best that could happen? Visualize the reward, success, growth, or even just overcoming fear. What's the cost of doing nothing? Often, inaction is the riskiest choice. Once you've answered these, commit to action. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to begin. The first step, no matter how small, breaks the cycle of hesitation and builds momentum. Today, I stand confidently where I once faltered. The same opportunities that once terrified me are now the moments I seek out. That shift didn't happen overnight, and it didn't come from waiting for the fear to disappear. It came from acting despite it. The Stoics teach us to focus on what's within our control. Fear is not something you can eliminate, but action, deciding to move forward, is always within your power. Every opportunity comes with 2 choices: hesitate or act. One path leads to regret, the other to growth. If you've ever let an opportunity pass you by, you know the weight of wondering, what if? But what if today you chose differently? What if you decided to act, to move forward, to trust yourself even when the outcome isn't guaranteed? The only certainty is this: opportunities don't wait. They belong to those bold enough to seize them. So take that step. The doors you open today could define your tomorrow. 2. How you see yourself shapes your opportunities. Imagine a talented individual who passes up a promotion, not because they lack the skills, but because they don't believe they're ready. My brother once turned down a managerial role at his company. He thought he wasn't experienced enough, doubted his leadership abilities, and feared failure. But the opportunity didn't wait. The position was filled by someone else who, though less qualified on paper, believed in their potential. Years later, my brother admitted that his hesitation was rooted in how he viewed himself, not in reality. This isn't an isolated story. How you see yourself shapes the choices you make, the risks you take, and ultimately the doors that open or close for you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If you perceive yourself as incapable, unworthy, or unprepared, you unconsciously limit your actions, and with them, your opportunities. Opportunities often require us to act before we feel ready. This doesn't mean diving in blindly, but stepping forward with faith in your ability to adapt and grow. Confidence isn't something you wait to have, it's something you build. Small daily actions, learning a new skill, speaking up in a meeting, or volunteering for a challenging task, are the bricks of self-belief. Over time, these moments accumulate, forming the foundation of a mindset that says, "I can do this." The Stoics remind us that external circumstances are beyond our control, but our inner perception defines how we interact with the world. Think of your self-image as a lens through which you view life. If that lens is clouded with doubt or fear, even the brightest opportunities will seem dim. But when you begin to clean that lens, challenging limiting beliefs and embracing discomfort, you'll see possibilities you never imagined. Another way to think about this is to consider the stories we tell ourselves. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One says, "I've never done this before. I'll probably fail." The other says, "I've never done this before. I'll figure it out as I go." Which mindset opens doors? Which story sets the stage for growth? A great example of this is a colleague of mine who once volunteered to lead a major project despite having no prior experience. She knew it was risky, but she told herself, "If I don't know something, I'll learn." That confidence wasn't arrogance, it was a willingness to bet on her ability to adapt. The project was a success, and her career skyrocketed. She didn't wait for permission to believe in herself, she permitted herself to try. This isn't to say that doubt or fear will disappear overnight. Even the most confident people feel uncertain at times. But the difference lies in their response. Instead of letting fear dictate their actions, they move forward anyway, understanding that growth requires discomfort. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So how can you begin to reshape your self-perception? Start small. Write down a limiting belief you have about yourself. Then challenge it. Ask yourself, is this true? What evidence supports the opposite? Next, take one action that contradicts that belief. For instance, if you think you're not good at public speaking, volunteer to give a short presentation. The more you act against doubt, the weaker its hold becomes. Reflect on this. How many opportunities have you let slip by because you thought you weren't ready? And what if the readiness you've been waiting for lies on the other side of action? Changing the way you see yourself isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about uncovering the strength that's already there. The truth is, how you see yourself doesn't just shape your opportunities, it shapes your life. By challenging your doubts, taking small but bold steps, and rewriting the narrative in your mind, you can unlock doors that once seemed out of reach. Trust that you're capable, and opportunities will start to reveal themselves in ways you never expected. 3. Find value in the ordinary. It's easy to overlook the power of the everyday. We're often so focused on chasing grand opportunities that we miss the significance of the small, quiet moments that build the foundation of our lives. But what if the greatest opportunities weren't in far-off achievements, but in the ordinary tasks we perform every day? The Stoics believed in finding meaning in the mundane. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the last act of your life." This isn't just about making each moment count. It's about seeing the extraordinary potential in what seems ordinary. Think of it this way. A tree doesn't grow tall overnight. Its roots deepen and strengthen through countless small actions, absorbing sunlight, water, and nutrients. The same is true for us. Every small task, no matter how insignificant it feels, contributes to the person we're becoming. Consider the simple act of journaling. For years, I dismissed it as a routine without much value. But when I finally committed to it, I realized it wasn't just about writing. It was about reflection, growth, and clarity. That small, daily habit became a powerful tool for self-discovery and decision-making. Or take another example. A friend of mine who once worked as a barista. At first, it felt like a dead-end job, just making coffee and chatting with customers. But over time, she noticed patterns. She learned how to communicate effectively, how to solve problems quickly, and how to read people's needs. Those ordinary skills eventually became the foundation of her success when she started her own business. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of dismissing small tasks as unimportant, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? By doing this, you'll start to see that the ordinary isn't a distraction from success. It's the training ground for it. Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Who you want to become isn't shaped by rare, monumental events. It's built in the trenches of daily life, through discipline, focus, and effort. Take a moment to think about your daily routine. How many opportunities for growth are hiding in plain sight? That conversation with a coworker could teach you something new. That tedious report could sharpen your attention to detail. Even mundane chores like cleaning or organizing can instill a sense of discipline and order. We often romanticize success, imagining it as a series of groundbreaking achievements. But most success stories are written in the quiet hours of persistence. Writers don't craft novels in a single burst of inspiration. They write page by page, often struggling through the process. Athletes don't win championships from a single performance. They train tirelessly, refining their skills every day. The ordinary is where transformation begins. It's in these moments that you develop the habits, skills, and mindset needed to seize bigger opportunities when they come. One of my favorite Stoic lessons is to detach from the outcome and focus on the process. Don't wait for the grand reward to validate your effort. Instead, find satisfaction in the act itself. If you're writing, enjoy the process of putting your thoughts into words. If you're learning, savor the joy of discovery. This mindset doesn't just make life more fulfilling, it prepares you for success. So the next time you feel stuck in monotony, remember, greatness isn't built in leaps, but in steps. Small, steady steps taken with intention and purpose. Look closely at your daily life. What opportunities are waiting for you to notice them? The ordinary isn't something to escape from. It's something to embrace. It's the fertile ground where the seeds of your future are planted. All it takes is a shift in perspective to start seeing the value that's been there all along. 4. Comfort is the enemy of opportunity. Comfort feels safe. It's warm, familiar, and reassuring. But comfort, as tempting as it is, often stands in direct opposition to growth. The Stoics understood this truth deeply. Seneca once wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult." Our unwillingness to step out of our comfort zone creates the very challenges we fear. Think about what comfort does. It lulls us into a false sense of security. It whispers that there's no need to try harder, no need to risk failure, no need to face discomfort. But comfort doesn't push you forward. It keeps you exactly where you are. And while it may feel safe in the moment, it comes at a cost. The opportunities you could have seized, the growth you could have achieved, the life you could have lived. The Stoics believed that discomfort is where transformation begins. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What this means is that growth is a choice. It's not given, it's earned. And it's earned through challenge, through stepping into situations that test your limits and force you to adapt. Opportunities don't come with guarantees. They don't promise an easy path. They require effort, courage, courage and a willingness to face the unknown. The question isn't whether the path will be hard, it will. The real question is, are you willing to embrace that difficulty to reach something greater? Comfort convinces us to settle, to lower our ambitions. It keeps us in jobs we've outgrown, relationships that no longer fulfill us, and routines that dull our potential. But every moment spent in comfort is a moment traded away from the pursuit of something meaningful. The Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort offers a way to break free from this trap. By intentionally exposing ourselves to small, manageable challenges, we build resilience. Whether it's fasting for a day, taking a cold shower, or tackling a difficult conversation, these acts train us to endure discomfort without fear. They remind us that we're stronger than we think and capable of far more than we realize. When you choose discomfort, you choose growth. You choose to confront your fears instead of running from them. You choose to act even when success isn't certain. And in doing so, you unlock opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. Think of discomfort as the price of entry for a meaningful life. It's the ticket that grants you access to growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Without it, you remain stagnant, stuck in the same place while the world moves forward. But with it, Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. Growth takes time, effort, and persistence. It requires stepping out of the comfort zone repeatedly until the discomfort itself becomes familiar. And as it does, you'll find that what once seemed impossible now feels within reach. So, how do you begin? Start small. Choose one area of your life where you've been playing it safe and take a step forward. It might be asking for a project at work that feels just out of your depth, or committing to a goal you've been putting off. Whatever it is, take that step, knowing that discomfort isn't a barrier, it's a bridge. Comfort is seductive, but it's also limiting. The life you want, the growth you seek, and the opportunities waiting for you exist on the other side of comfort. As you step beyond what feels safe, you'll discover a strength you didn't know you had and a world of possibilities you didn't know existed. Choose discomfort, choose growth, choose opportunity. 5. Don't underestimate the power of relationships. Opportunities rarely arrive on their own. More often than not, they come through people, through conversations, connections, and collaborations. The relationships we build are like bridges, connecting us to new experiences, ideas, and possibilities. Yet many of us overlook their importance, focusing instead on personal achievements or individual growth. The Stoics emphasize the interconnectedness of human life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born to work together, like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower." This simple truth reminds us that we are not meant to navigate life in isolation. Our greatest opportunities often emerge when we engage with others, learn from them, and contribute to their growth as well. Think about it. How many breakthroughs in your life came from a chance conversation or the guidance of someone who believed in you? I once received a piece of advice from an old acquaintance that transformed my approach to leadership. It wasn't planned, and it didn't come from a formal mentor. But that conversation opened a door I hadn't even noticed before. Relationships don't just provide support, they expand our perspective. Through others, we see possibilities we might never have considered. We gain insights, hear different viewpoints, and discover paths we wouldn't have found on our own. Seneca wisely observed, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." The people we surround ourselves with have a profound influence on who we become. Yet, building relationships requires effort. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, initiating conversations, and being genuinely curious about others. Too often, we hesitate, fearing rejection or judgment. But the reality is that most people are as eager to connect as you are. All it takes is a simple step, a greeting, a compliment, or a question to start building a connection. When you invest in relationships, you're planting seeds that may take time to grow, but will eventually bear fruit. The friend you encourage today could be the one who introduces you to your dream job tomorrow. The colleague you collaborate with now could become a lifelong partner in future ventures. The key is to nurture these connections consistently, even when there's no immediate benefit. But relationships aren't just about receiving, they're about giving. The more value you bring to others, the stronger those connections become. Epictetus advised, "He who does not value himself cannot value anything or anyone." When you invest in your growth and share that growth with others, you create relationships built on mutual respect and trust. Take a moment to reflect. Who are the 5 people you interact with most? Do they inspire you, challenge you, or encourage you to grow? If not, it might be time to seek out new connections. Surround yourself with those who share your values, your aspirations, or even your struggles. These relationships will become a source of strength and opportunity as you navigate life's challenges. At the same time, don't forget to maintain and deepen the relationships you already have. A quick message, a genuine thank you, or a shared memory can go a long way in strengthening bonds. Small gestures of kindness often leave the biggest impact. In the end, relationships are not just about achieving goals, they're about living a fuller, richer life. They remind us that success isn't a solitary journey, but a shared experience. When you invest in people, you're investing in a network of opportunities that will support you in ways you can't always predict. So don't underestimate the power of relationships. They're not just connections, they're catalysts for growth, discovery, and success. Start today. Reach out, connect, and nurture the relationships that will shape your future. As the Stoics teach us, our greatest strength lies in our ability to work together. 6. Failure is part of success. Failure often feels like the end, but in truth, it's just the beginning of something greater. We're conditioned to fear failure, to see it as proof that we're not good enough. Yet the Stoics taught us to view failure not as a final verdict, but as a teacher. Epictetus said, "Difficulties are things that show a person who they are." Think of failure as a mirror. It reflects not just your mistakes, but also your strengths and the areas where you can grow. Missing an opportunity, making a mistake, or falling short of your goals isn't a signal to stop. It's a nudge to recalibrate, learn, and move forward with more clarity. I once missed a major career opportunity because I hesitated. The fear of making the wrong decision kept me from acting. For weeks, I replayed the moment in my mind, berating myself for not taking the chance. But in that process, I also learned. I recognized that hesitation was my greatest obstacle, and I began taking deliberate steps to overcome it. The next time a similar opportunity arose, I was ready, and I succeeded. That failure wasn't the end, it was a stepping stone. The Stoics remind us that external events don't define us, our response to them does. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." When we shift our mindset from fearing failure to embracing its lessons, we unlock the ability to grow stronger with every setback. Imagine a sculptor working on a block of marble. Every chip removed feels like destruction, yet it's through this process that a masterpiece emerges. In the same way, failure chips away at what doesn't serve us, revealing the potential within. The key to transforming failure into success is perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" By shifting the focus from blame to growth, you turn every setback into an opportunity for improvement. Another vital lesson from failure is resilience. When you fail, you discover your capacity to get back up, to try again, and to push forward despite the odds. This resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each failure builds your tolerance for discomfort and your confidence in facing challenges head-on. The fear of failure often stems from the belief that we need to be perfect. But perfection is an illusion, and the pursuit of it only paralyzes us. Seneca wisely noted, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Failure isn't an end, it's the doorway to a new start. To embrace failure as part of success, you must act. Start small if you need to, but act. Apply for the job, share your idea, or try the skill you've been avoiding because you fear not being good enough. Remember, progress isn't about getting it right every time. It's about showing up and learning as you go. Failure is also a powerful teacher because it reveals what truly matters to you. When you fail and still feel compelled to try again, it's a sign that you're on the right path. It's a reminder that lead. So, what failure have you been holding on to? And how can you reframe it as a lesson, a stepping stone to something greater? Reflect on these questions and recognize that failure isn't your enemy, it's your ally. The path to success is rarely straight. It's filled with twists, turns, and yes, failures. But every misstep, every stumble, brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. Embrace failure, learn from it, and let it guide you to the success that's waiting on the other side. 7. Surround yourself with growth. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Are they helping you become the person you aspire to be, or are they holding you back? This is a question that deserves serious reflection because the company you keep has a profound impact on your mindset, motivation, and the opportunities you encounter. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." The people around us influence not only how we think, but also how we act. They shape the standards we set for ourselves, the ambitions we pursue, and even the limits we believe we have. Growth requires an environment that nurtures it. Just as plants thrive in fertile soil and wither in barren ground, we flourish when surrounded by people and situations that challenge and inspire us. Think of your inner circle as the soil for your growth. Is it rich with encouragement, knowledge, and positivity? Or is it filled with negativity, doubt, and complacency? Surrounding yourself with growth doesn't mean seeking perfection in others or discarding relationships at the first sign of difficulty. It means being intentional about the energy you allow into your life. Look for people who share your values, who push you to aim higher, and who hold you accountable to your potential. The Stoics teach us that we become the sum of our influences. If you surround yourself with negativity, it's only a matter of time before it seeps into your thoughts and actions. But when you're among people who are striving for excellence, their drive becomes contagious. Their successes motivate you, and their lessons become part of your journey. This principle extends beyond individuals to the environments you create for yourself. What do you consume daily? Are you filling your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and ideas that inspire you? Or are you allowing distractions, doubts, and trivialities to occupy your focus? Your environment isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional. One of the greatest lessons from Stoic philosophy is the importance of self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The quality of your thoughts, in turn, depends heavily on the influences you allow into your mind." Curate your environment carefully because it is shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. But growth also requires courage. It means stepping away from what is familiar and comfortable to seek out new perspectives and challenges. It might mean joining a community of like-minded individuals, pursuing a mentor, or simply reaching out to someone you admire. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It thrives in connection. At the same time, surrounding yourself with growth also involves contributing to the growth of others. The Stoics believe deeply in the value of mutual improvement. By offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, and celebrating the success of others, you create a cycle of positivity that uplifts everyone involved. Ask yourself, who are the people who truly inspire you? Who are the individuals who push you to think bigger, to act bolder, to grow stronger? And just as importantly, who are you inspiring in return? Growth is not a one-way street. It is a shared journey. In the end, surrounding yourself with growth isn't about cutting ties or creating an exclusive circle. It's about intentionality. It's about choosing influences that align with the person you want to become and recognizing the impact they have on your life. You don't have to overhaul your relationships overnight. Start by observing, by reflecting, and by making small adjustments. Seek out conversations that energize you, environments that challenge you, and people who inspire you. Growth begins with intention, and the people you choose to walk alongside will shape the path you take. Surround yourself with growth, and you'll find that opportunities and possibilities expand in ways you never thought possible. As we reach the end of this journey, take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored. Opportunities surround you every day, waiting to be noticed and acted upon. They may be hidden in the mundane, disguised as challenges, or found through the people around you. The truth is, success isn't about avoiding failure or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about learning, adapting, and taking intentional steps forward. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have power over our choices and over how we respond to life's circumstances. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength lies in your ability to embrace discomfort, to grow through failure, and surround yourself with people and environments that inspire you to be your best. Remember, the journey isn't linear. Growth takes patience, persistence, and courage. But every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. Now I want to hear from you. What opportunity are you ready to seize? What step will you take today to embrace growth, even if it feels uncertain? Share your thoughts, your experiences, or even your struggles in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to take their next step. Let's keep this conversation going, because together we can uncover the opportunities that have been waiting for us all along.